That time again. I thought today we would just do a classic prosperity meditation. There's lots of energetic shifts happening right now, and we have the power to harness this energy. So we're going to sit comfortably. Make sure you are sitting comfortably. Maybe you have pillows around you. Maybe you're sitting on the floor, a chair. Either one's fine. Let's just take a moment to ground into our bodies, feeling a nice straight spine. That might require you to lean back a little bit, tuck the chin in. Take a couple of breaths here just to feel all the places in which your body are touching the ground or the pillows, the chair. Bring ourselves into the present moment, the constant now. We're going to take our hands, we're going to place them at a 30-degree angle like a book. So they're going to come up in front of us. So they're not straight like this, they're not straight up in the air, kind of halfway in between. So we're going to take our hands, we're going to tap the sides together. We're going to flip the palms over, tap the other side together. Tap, 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 tap. Okay, so we get to check in with our minds too, because our mind is telling us to touch our fingers together, but then sometimes the hands are a little not quite where we thought they were. So that's an interesting perspective on our own minds, right? Okay, so we're going to use the mantra HUD, H-A-R, but it sounds almost like H-U-D. We're going to take the tip of our tongue and we're going to just tap the roof of our mouth as we say HUD, HUD. So this is the name of absolute creation. Creation as creator. Has lots of, I was looking up, so in this language we're using as Gurmukhi. It's also a derivative of Sanskrit, so from the East. But HUD, the sound current, comes up in lots of different languages, so that's really interesting. So for us as Westerners, it's nice to kind of take us out of our rigid ideas of things and bring us into a space of more expansiveness. So I invite you into this space of expansiveness using this mantra HUD. Again, hands are at a 30-degree angle. We're going to take our eyes, we're going to look at the tip of our noses, okay? So that's where our focus is. So from the tip of your nose, you should be able to see your hands kind of moving out of the corner. Okay, and let's begin. HUD, 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 head, head, head. Deep inhale. Take the palms and place them in front of the heart center, just making a cup in front of our heart. This meditation always reminds me of the cycles, like the cycles of the moon or the sea. The tide goes in, the tide goes out, the tide goes in, the tide goes out. We get really attached to whichever one is serving us best. But either way, it keeps continuing in and out, the cycles of life. So as we inhale and exhale, holding this cup in front of our hearts, feeling the deep trust that comes with surrender, feeling our cups filled up in this moment with breath. Wishing you all well, wishing you peace. I'll see you tomorrow at 3:33 Eastern Time or whenever you're watching this. I hope it serves you. Sat Nam.